As you can see right over there, that's a photo of President William Ruto. Oh my gosh, amepiga luku mbaya. Oh my goodness, I think those Swedish, they look Swedish, the loafers. And look at the way that security guy just opened the door. He's like, toka wende, toka. Yeah, so the president is in the United States, and this is after an invitation by, I don't know if President Donald Trump invited. I never saw the invitation. Was it shared publicly? Did he share that he'd been in the United States for the DRC peace agreement or signing treaty? And President William Ruto in Washington D.C. Shout out to Bathroom for this story. To the invitation of President Trump, he'll be joining Rwanda's Paul Kagame and DRC's Felix Tshisekedi in witnessing the official signing of the DRC-Rwanda peace agreement. And just to give you a little scope, there's been this ongoing Rwandan genocide or genocidic sins and developments that have been reported all over, from killings to starvation to war crimes. We even had former Rwandan, was it leader, the DRC leader, who was jailed for crimes against humanity, plus many other, inhumane crimes that he committed under his leadership. And President Donald Trump has been on the front line advocating for peace treaties. She even went ahead and chose a reporter specifically, an American. In fact, if you check out on the profile of this beautiful Congolese lady, she's so beautiful. By the way, yeah, I saw her. And I remember when she was interviewing President Donald Trump, and President Donald Trump said she admires her beauty. President Donald Trump is one of those presidents who says it like he means it. In as much as all this counting and this, let's say, disconnections, the pausing immigrations and what, in as much as he's disconnected that from Africa, but there's something about him. But I know I could receive backlash from Democrats and a majority of, I'd say, American population who don't feel aligned with Donald Trump's, isolationist modus operandi, but he says it like he means it and he does it. And so President William Ruto, interestingly, was chosen to be the witnesses. Let me just see some of the comments, and then we're going to move to the shoes, please. Me too. I noticed those brownish, maroonish, Swedish, loafers. Trump is not, it should be Trump. Trump is not Trump. Trump is not Biden. He's about to get a lecture. I wish I see that, because Donald Trump is, he's a say it like you mean it person. All right. Away from that, still this one still touches on matters. President Donald Trump. The U.S. has halted with immediate effect green card and asylum applications from 19 flagged countries. The United States government has announced immediate suspension of that applications and certain immigration benefits requests filed by people from 19 countries classified as high risk. The move follows a new policy directive issued by the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, which orders officers to pause processing and conduct a fresh review of these cases. Under the policy, all pending asylum applications, regardless of a person's nationality, will be placed on hold. This has been actually accompanied by an explosive press briefing that President Donald Trump said. He said he doesn't like what Somalis did in Minnesota. He called out Ilhan representative, is he now Senator Ilhan Omar, who is originally of Somali descent, saying she's bitching. She's not originally from the Americas. She comes from a stinky country. And Trump believes that most African countries are producing criminals that are invading the United States. So what followed thereafter was but measures or laws that actually curtail, say, people from developing countries to visit the United States and even work there. Look, now they're pausing. They're even now reviewing the green card. So it's a blow to African Americans who moved from Africa to go work in the United States. And these include 19 countries. Sudan is on the list. Of course, Somalia is on the list. There's some other overseas countries as well, including, I believe, Afghanistan. That's also on the list. 19 countries is a lot. Is a lot for sure, for sure. And now with ICE that has come up with this modus operandi of self-deportation, with even now AI buttons to self-deport yourself, I think the economy of the United States could possibly be shaken But I've just seen an update a while ago. Let me just get to it. I think I found it to be profound. I think maybe that's the direction President Donald Trump is moving to. It's in regards to United States citizens. Yes, here this is on Fox News. It says Trump says Americans may soon pay no income tax. So I believe this was in just maybe to try and liberate, the United States and make America great again as his modus operandi or his manifesto. President Trump suggests tariff-driven revenue could allow for historic elimination of the federal income tax under his tenure, marking the most ambitious overhaul of the American tax system in more than a century. And let me just say some of the comments. Somebody said that would be amazing. Another said the greatest president of all time. God, 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 God. Another one said that would be great. That would be awesome. Of course, these are Republicans. Amen. 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 Come on. Come on. Come on. And that's just interesting because it's coming at a time when some of the laws that President Donald Trump has put in place have curtailed even funding to developing countries. Even during World AIDS Day, HIV Day that happened on Monday this week, Trump never commented on it. He believes, the Somalis as well benefited a lot. In fact, just a while ago, let me just go on my reports. I had shared something about um, Caroline Levitt is press secretary, White House for Donald Trump, and she says, quote unquote, Kenya linked to fraud money investment point visas, and she says Somali immigrants have been stealing from U.S. taxpayers and diverting the funds to Kenya and Turkey. Caroline Levitt, U.S. press secretary to Donald Trump. So I think President Trump and Somalis, I don't think they're winning. In fact, the more Ilhan Omar continues to be in the United States, at some point, President Donald Trump threatened to deport him, which I find it to be really just bizarre and ridiculous. All right, now away from that, there's an interesting story as well about Stephen Letoo. So that story is on, I think it was compiled on Kenya News. Let me just get to kenyanews.co.ke. Yes, while former Deputy Rigathi Gachagua was addressing what transpired in Kariobangi. Was it in Kariobangi or in Bahati, where he attended a church service on Sunday, and goons actually invaded the church and they took over, and it ended up with an exchange with the police as well, police force who used force and then threw tear gas, hurled tear gas canisters at the congregation. So apparently, Stephen Letoo, who is covering and following up on that story, he covered it and said, police were had an exchange with, you know, with guns, while it's actually police who, invaded, the church congregation and threw tear gas canisters. Now, in this conversation, in this address rather, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is calling on Sifuna, Babu Owino, and the rest, if just in case, because ODM initially, uh, some of the formidable forces and founders, former, now deceased Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and as well as our President William Ruto. But again, there's been, a shake-up. The shake-up is still on. Now that, the Odingas have a funeral, and today was the burial of Beryl Ocheng. Initially, word on the cab had it, Mama Ida Odinga refused to participate in the burial process. She even refused to give funding. She urged people to collect, in fact, to fundraise so that they bury the sister. That's the sister-in-law to Mama Ida Odinga. So there's been speeches. I've not clicked on any of it, but I'll check tomorrow and then I'll do an update. So Rigathi Gachagua is saying, yes, in case President Ruto buys ODM, they are free to, flock to DCP. And he says when elections come, he definitely gonna see them win 16 out of 19, possibly. And I think that's really profound because it's coming at a time when we're just coming from the by-elections. They were marred with a lot of chaotic and violent scenes from. Now, Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale has been, ejected from the majority whip position because he's been vehemently speaking against the ills happening. Before that, his security had been withdrawn and shelved. Something happened to Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya. His security team had also been curtailed. So a lot of chaotic and just brewing furore of disagreements and political fallouts, which are really short-sighted. So But we can't wait to see how this is going to pan out. I'll definitely be following up on that one as well. Now, as I finish up, I just want to go on to Maverick Aoko's ex handle and see what she's saying, because Maverick Aoko is the source of hot topics as well. Whenever I want to have a good time and just smile and get through the day, I always click on Maverick Aoko's, X handle. She always has this explosive expose tweets that sometimes just leave you. I've never been more embarrassed on behalf of grown. Just anyways, that's DP Kindiki and then President William Ruto in Christmas. I believe, is that AI? Hopefully it's AI. Where? These ones I cannot read them. I need to do a whole story. I love this one where he says, I stand with Halwale, Kimunya must go, bullfighter. Can't call him doctor. He was a mortuary attendant before joining politics. True African man. His kids can fill Kakamega Stadium. Neglected his first wife, then Shambaboy took over. Broke killed him and said it was Madlinya. Ah, boom, 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 boom. Mm. Meru County, in fact, Mary Haina youth. Where were these young patriots who are on the streets for Billy? Omera to Sivurugane Asubuhi, did you see the demographic in the voting booths and queues? Mostly wamama wazee. Mtatoa Ruto through osmosis Gasia Nyinyi. Where, and I can see as well, the splash on people, today I was just, yeah, I got caught up. I would have done newspaper review. I'll definitely do it tomorrow. Why Gen Z turn up for protests but skip the polls? Actually, yes, I remember highlighting this with my co-presenter, Stephanie. And this is on the People Daily. It says the November 27 by-elections were expected to offer a glimpse into how much young voters would be a disruptive force ahead of the 2027. They, however, failed to queue up. Why Rift Valley remains central to Kenya's next generational election. And then on top there, they're talking about inside the moves toward a Ruto ODM 2027 pact, the political fallout ahead. Gosh, that's a lot. That's a lot. And that's for real, for sure. Like, why aren't Gen Zs? You guys were so infuriated and enraged when you are picketing against the finance bill. Please, I'm talking 2027 vote so that, because as it looks, it sounds like it's two-term. Anyways, it looks like it's two-term for sure. If you guys don't get out to vote, two-term it is.